You can start talking.
Okay, Sister Love, she will at 27 minutes and 42 seconds. You can finish up, and then we'll give the prosecution another 5 minutes. That took up about 6 minutes of the time. Okay.
Okay, so there's a question about the statement, let's make it public. And I wanted to address that because had I been presented with an option outside of making it public or finding another jurist that would do it for you, then I would have done that. It took me having to seek outside guidance to get that information because it wasn't part of the solutions to this issue. Here's the quote. Peace. I say this with love because I have love for you. You're a very loving sister, but this is very simple. I'm telling you I will not do it because it's not in my protocol. If you say I'm wrong, bring one jurist to tell me and show me that to discuss with. Or we can simply make this a public post for any jurist that knows or follows me to see exactly who steps up. We don't even have to use any names. Either one of these will work, or sister, just very simply go to one of the jurists that you know will do this document for you. You've never gotten one from me before. Simply get them from someone else if these options do not work. I didn't think it was appropriate to continue to go back and forth. We've already been back and forth for months. And I definitely didn't think that it was appropriate to post this in a public forum. So that was why I had to ask some questions. I'm not sure why the grievance process wasn't listed as one of those options. The other thing is that I'm concerned about if it's outside of protocol, then why offer up another jurist to perform a service, right? If the concern is about being brought up on charges, then why put a fellow jurist up for that same risk? I didn't understand that. It was really confusing, and I did not communicate past this text message which was sent to me January 24th because I knew I needed to get some more information before I proceeded. And that's it for now. Thank you.
All right, so I want to jump right on so Ken can go and do what he got to do. But what I'm going to do is go on the Aboriginal University website, the files that everybody got access to. Because Brother Rashad let me know that the site was acting up, so I wanted to check. In some kind of way, the password had got knocked off and people was able to access it, but I went back and fixed it. But let me show you how this works, as far as yours. Because the whole concept behind this is, again, if you're on a team, everybody got an opportunity to make the play happen so that we can win the game. That's it. So Ken is my brother. Even while I'm going at his ass right now, he's still my brother because I'm trying to show him from our perspective that, look, bro, reach out. Sometimes I might not be able to text right back. Sometimes I might be able to text right back. It's the pace. But do it. Because if you have a question about business registrations, all I'm going to direct you to is, oh yeah, we got a whole folder on Aboriginal University. Make sure everybody get access to it. Everybody download the same nationality folder. And so we can go through this stuff to make sure that people understand. Because if you think like that, maybe you go to Arkan, maybe you go to Kojo, maybe you go to Rashad, maybe you go to Bahad, maybe you go to Chief, whatever. We all thinking as a team. That's how you solve a problem, simply. Not what Sister said, oh, let's make this a public post. No, we don't have to do that for that. Like, she's a national. You see what I'm saying? This ain't Lakina wilding out trying to cause a coup. This is a person trying to get a business register. And if you think, okay, well, maybe she's trying to bribe me. Let's talk about that too, together. Whatever it may be. But let me show you. Let me go right here, because this is my closing point, and then I'll turn it over to the brother. I'll go to the Aboriginal University website. This is a simple issue. Aboriginal University. There we go. share where I'm at. Let's share the whole screen. Alright, so let me know when y'all can see this.
Yes, we see it.
Alright, so this is a basic website. Now, when you come to this website, of course, I've been using it, so I don't have to put in a password, but you have to put in a password. I actually changed the password because I was thinking maybe somebody who had the password gave the password out and was doing crazy stuff, so I changed it. Alright, so what you have here is the exam for the jurors, certain downloads for phase 2, bankruptcy stuff, nationality file. So just let me open the nationality file first. Just so you can see. Alright, so it's going to give me this file. Wow, I open it. That's all the stuff we went over last night in the class, right? All of this stuff, right? Keep that right there. Let me go to the business file. It's simple. Download it. Open it. So in this file, just like all the other files, we have everything we do, right? So these are just the types of businesses. All 7 types. So now, when you're doing standard LLCs, a standard LLC cannot be tax exempt. We go over this, we've been over this. You have to do the registration with the state to make sure that that entity is there. We have a tribal tax exempt LLC. There's no state that allows for LLCs to be tax exempt. We're the only ones that do it. But what I was telling She is if you want to open up a bank account, because she was having problems with this, you try to open up a bank account with a tax exempt LLC, they're going to be like, nah, we don't know what's going on here, but we can't do that, right? So all we do is open a holding company, right? We got holding companies. Matter of fact, let me go here first, because this will make it easier for you to see. All right, so this is our things. All right, so we have a link for tribal members payment and a link for non-tribal members.
Seconds left. I don't know if you want to extend the time.
Yeah, just maybe a minute. All right, so we have links for tribal members and non-tribal members. The non-tribal members have to pay more. So according to what I heard from her, she's saying she was given a non-tribal member fee. Is that correct, Love She? Is she there?
Yes, that is correct. So I was part of it. Yes.
All right, so Love She, you were given a non-tribal member fee.
Yes.
Why?
I'm going to defer to Ken Wade.
No, you can't. Okay. I need you to answer the question. I'm asking you.
Why was I charged extra? I don't know. Because I was a national at the time, and I explained, absolutely. And I explained that, and I provided the jurors who did my process and provided that information to Ken when he asked me.
Did you pay the non-tribal member fee to Ken?
Yes.
What happened after that? Were you refunded your money?
Yes, it took a very long time. I had to press and push. Yes.
A very long time.
It took. Here, overcharging. 1 second. It was May. Let's see. It was sent. The refund was sent January 5th. I discussed the discrepancy December 17th.
All right, so a few weeks later he sent it to you. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have this issue with taxes and tribal LLCs. When you got a taxes and tribal LLC, you can get an EIN for everything. Boom. If you want to hold money on it, I showed her how to do it. You have a holding company. The holding company holds the assets of the taxes and tribal LLC. You can open up a bank account. It's pretty simple. And lastly, this is the last point. When I go back to this nationality file, right here, make sure I open up this thing. Taxes and businesses. So anytime you want to get a form from ARNA, we have a tax exempt business, we have these businesses. So So my point is, every business can be tax exempt except a standard LLC. And so all it requires, if you don't know, ask a question. Ask chief, ask other jurists. Let's talk about it. Let's not go make a post online. Let's talk about it so we can figure it out. Because you're not here to battle Love Sheep. You're here to figure out how we get the problem solved. So my summary is this. What I see happening with Ken Way, Sheep, my brother, is that he is unwilling to confess when he made a mistake. Instead, with each one of these women, he has decided to not refund them, go to war with them, suggest to make stuff public online. It is almost like, and I know people, they could be saying stuff, whatever. It's almost like, fuck the protocol, fuck this. I'm gonna get with you. And even in this proceeding right here, when it's clear that he has done something that is a breach, I don't think that he's seeing himself properly in these particular things that we have made accusations about. So I'm going to turn it back over to the Jewish Society again to hear, because maybe I don't know, hear what he has to say about, everything that everybody has said.
Okay, so Jewish Society, do you want to give Kenway 30 minutes as well to discuss all three plaintiffs?
Yes, sir. Remove all doubts. Can't use that as an excuse. Give him much time as he needs. For the record. I appreciate that. Yeah. So understood. I wanted to be known that apologies if from the jump. Apologies if how it's coming off right now is arrogance or in regards of stubbornness for what's being stated. From my side, I'm wanting full clarity because my ancestor is Bach. So I'm about everything I do for Arnett, the nation, the jurors, New Age Legal is going to be under balance. I don't feel like if I say something, which publicly many times it might comes off as I'm firing people up dysfunctionally, things of that nature in the public eye. Even then, I stand on balance what I'm doing. So if it comes off that way, I just want to give full perspective of my scenario to everyone here, so that way nothing is left out. So you can see where my mind is when I'm going. So and I give it to the Jewish Society to please call me out where there's discrepancies, where it looks like there's imbalance or dysfunction on my end. I appreciate that. But so moving on to this now, I also premise this saying that Arna is my life. You know what I mean? Like I don't do jurors and go off and do Uber Eats stuff like that when like this is what I do 24/7. You know what I mean? Literally, pretty much 24/7. And I understand how when you're in the field, I know. So I'm getting a call. Please text me. Okay, sorry, I got a call. Can you still hear me? Okay. Yeah. So, I'm in the field, right, full time. So, one end of that is, I know how many other people are really in the field with me. Sorry, I got another call. I know how many people are in the field with me, actually putting hands to the dirt with what we got going on. There's not as many as I would like. So, the few that I do know that are in the field, that are with me in this thing, I do communicate with. I do reach out to for information. I try not to blow up headquarters too much. I'll admit to that. I try not to reach out to all this time where I want to, just hit up, get on a call with all this to build. But I can only imagine when you see what we see, when you're doing what we're doing, you see the craziness that comes in. So the stuff that comes my way, I can only imagine what comes on Ali on all these things. So that being said, right, I'm gonna go with one of the major, I think, discrepancies that I've heard so far, right? So this is in regards of Monet. Like I said, I usually don't do payment plans, right? I usually don't do payment plans. I don't say I never do payment plans. I usually don't. There's certain areas where if I feel for the person, I'll say, okay, I'll give you at least got to pay half You pay half up front, and then we can go with, everything else from there. That's the usual issue. The reason, I didn't reach out in regards to contact is because I have a lot of clients. I have a lot of clients for various different avenues as being a jurist. I have several clients for debt discharge, clients for lawsuits, clients for nationality, several clients for IDs, and so on. Jurists that even are reaching out for information to build that I'm behind on even reaching out on good merit because of the fact that it is so much. Right, so I'll admit to that. And with that being said, I don't feel like I have the luxury in all instances. I definitely will when I can reach out to someone who may be confused or who I haven't heard from in a minute. There's an energy there. I'm like, okay, let me reach out and make sure they're good. You know what I mean? But I honestly, if I send people the information and the instructions on what to do, I give them the steps and the procedures. In many cases, I just can't. I can't keep up with every single person I give instructions to. They don't follow instructions. And that's my honest piece there. I gave her the intake to fill out. Gave her the information to fill out. She did not. And she mentioned here that she filled out the test, blah blah blah. But I hadn't heard it from her. She went out to headquarters, but she went out to me. So I mean that's an issue. But what was in regards to asked to go public, the scenario for me to ask them to go public was because my name and my business was public. I didn't want to do it to fire her up. I didn't want to do it when the constitutional dues list dropped, and I saw there was a breach, and I saw it was Yasmine Ali. I literally had to do research and to find out who could, it said Monet on there, but I had to figure out research like breach. So who is this? What's going on with this person again? I checked out, saw that they didn't send all the money. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. We understand that. Because my stuff was public, and granted, I haven't seen the clubs. Public can be an energy. Yeah, we are now. I asked, hey, because my thing is, how come she didn't? I heard that she was requested to reach out to me, and then on I think maybe multiple dates, and she didn't. So I'm thinking, okay, if we've gotten this far, right? We've gotten this far to where now my name is public, where I breached that I'm wrong, blah, 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 and she still has not reached out. Okay, I reached out to her, or I have to discuss with Ali. That's where I'm like, okay, if we went this far and she hasn't even reached out, and she looks like she has possibly lied about reaching out to me, do we need to do it? I mean, I don't mean like public. I wasn't talking about public, like flaming her, like like in the Kina. I was simply saying, hey, sis, or stating, hey, I haven't heard from this person, blah, 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 still looking to reach out in regards to the breach, since my name, my business is already public. Tell this person to reach out because we've got some issues. You know what I mean? So that's because I already know I've got people banking on me to, honestly, to keep it a buck, to banking on me to fail. Why are they banking on me to fail? Because I'm one of the few actually on here taking this serious. That's just the way it works. You know what I mean? That's just the way this operation works as a jurist. As if you're jurist doing this, you understand it. So there's already an energy with being public and stuff like that, already being public, saying that I breached, where I'm looking up and this person didn't pay all the dues. So I'm like, okay. So that was my mindset with going public. Okay, this person hasn't reached out to me or lied about reaching out to me. See that her name is on the constitutional dues list and hasn't reached out to me, still hasn't got the information. But do we need to go public? That's my mindset. So I don't want to make it seem like I was just going to straight up flame her Nakina her. No, Nakina is a special type of flame, and it's a specific type of breach. I categorize that. I don't just go. It might seem like I don't, but I categorize how I'm breaking stuff down. But the bigger issue with Monet or with Yasmine Ali, the biggest issue here is that headquarters said that I paid. Ali said I paid $10, right? Are you telling me that you didn't receive the headquarters money that I sent to headquarters that I paid that same day, which I can put on the display here, so the receipt that I paid the $500. I paid it before I paid the cash app, the $10. I paid that. So my question is like, did you receive that? Because I noticed it. I thought it was stated there in the plea deal that I didn't pay the money. And I was like,
right there.
I'm sorry?
That's news to me. I'm just saying, I don't take your time. That's news.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, so hold on, let me I'll show the receipt if I got if I'm allowed to real quick. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, hold on. I'm showing it in full. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so just so you guys can see the date too.
Can't see anything if you're showing us something.
Yeah, no, sorry. So I was getting the document in order. Here we go. Going to share the screen now. Start sharing. Start now. So, on the evidence. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see here at the bottom there. I'm saying Juris Kenway She Nationals dues for Yasmine Ali, aka Monet Collins. $500 there. $500 is the most you can pay on the website. I couldn't plug it.
Yeah, what date is that? Is the date on that? Just to...
Yes, sir. That's the next one here. The date is February 24th, 2022.
Gotcha.
So I did pay that. And, because I feel like, and I didn't, here's again, I'll kill the screen share. There are possibly nationals, not me knowing this, you can't see me, possibly nationals that I have sent on the website that I have paid dues for within the year that I felt may not have been on the constitutional dues list. So I haven't verified it, right? I haven't verified that, but I looked at it and I was like, okay, the list may look a little, you know what I mean? But my thing is, again, and this is where my mistake might have been, if I send you the registration link, if I give you the instructions, if I tell you what to do, and you don't do it, and you don't find yourself on that constitutional dues list, you have to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, or reach out to me, because I was going to get to a point where I was going to be able to check every single person that I might have nationalized stuff. But honestly, like, ever since this case has went on, or I've been notified that this is taking up even more time from all the other stuff I was going to do. So I was going to get to a point where that was going to be the case. But I just want to make sure that everybody I sent to headquarters has been paid. Appreciate the time on that. Because I did send that in. So, okay, so that's leaving from that. Let me just be doing on that. Okay, so going with Karen, right? Back to Karen. Yes, so for Karen, I did a redo of the intake. I might have already stated this. I did a redo of the intake because I had the updated procedures from the bankruptcy that I didn't have originally. I think I did state that originally. It is understood that the trademark was not done, right? I do understand that. And the question I was going to ask at the same time was, at what date was the refund asked? Dr. Amaru, do you have that information? Or Karen, when was the date for the refund asked?
I'll have to go back to it.
Okay.
I know I stated it, but I have to go back to it.
Yes, sir.
I'll look for and just go back to the replay, and then I'll let everybody know. So continue.
Okay. Because my whole point to that was the last interface that I had, and deepest, sincerest apologies, that was sent to me and I didn't see it, right? I missed it. Yeah, I promise it wasn't just ignored. The last correspondence, the reason I asked, because the last correspondence I have from her is on, come on, man. I have it here. The last correspondence I have from her is not a particular date. And,
what that date real quick?
Yes, sir.
It's February 13th, 2021 at 6:30 a.m. She requested it.
February 13th. What year again?
2021. Last year.
2021 last year. Okay. All right. So this shouldn't be hard to find. Okay. So the last correspondence I have from her, what I'm trying to state here or see here is if the refund was asked after or before the last correspondence that I had with her. Actually, it's right here. It's right here. So Karen, February 13, 2021. Okay. Okay, so the last correspondence I have via text from her. Is November 27th, 2020. So she did ask for that afterwards. And I can say on the record that I did miss that. Was it asked via email? That was via email that it was sent?
Yeah, that was sent to your email.
Okay, email. Okay, so I did miss that. Apologies. And I apologize to Karen for that as well. I apologize on the record for that. But, we were in text correspondence, and that may have been where I was looking at. Because I know a lot of people that reach out to me via email, via DM, via text, and sometimes I'll get it here to, a particular way. I kept checking the text messages, and the last thing I would see was, okay, she said she's going to get back with me, blah, 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 blah. So mistake on my end. And again, I'll say, like I said at the beginning, I have no problem with paying her back her money. That's not an issue. My issue was, just the correspondence. To me, as I was checking my text messages, it looked like she said, "Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get that stuff for you, blah, 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 and get you right back." But instead, went to headquarters in Ali, and I felt that was like deceptive. But apparently, according to what I'm learning, that was incorrect. So that was on my end. That's a mistake on my end. So, like I said, like I mentioned before, that paying back's not the issue. There's just the morality of how it came off. Which we just got rectified. Now, I do have to say,
sir, may I ask a question, Mr. Kent? So, are you stating for the record you're able to refund them for services not rendered?
Absolutely, yeah. I stated that earlier. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But I did want to get in context what was going on, because if it was like, yeah, I got you, I'm gonna get the information right back, and instead don't hit me back, but go to Ali, like, yo, I wanted my money back. I thought that I would have felt the way with that. You know what I mean? I was feeling the way with it. Like, well, why did you just tell me you wanted your money back? Why did you go to Ali? So, understood. So that was a mistake on my end.
For the record, she asked for the money back before she came to me.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing now. That's what I'm seeing now. Now, and here's what I do also want to say here, because you did mention that it took a while for the agreement and contract and stuff like that to get to her, things of that nature. I do have to say, can I have verification of this? If I don't, I can. I know I have receipts online that I can show state. But at the time that Karen processed, or that we processed and get started on our debt discharge process, what occurred during that time frame was 2020. From the month of October to February of 2021 was a massive amount of mail-out kickbacks that I was getting. I notified headquarters about this, and not even just kickbacks for mail from like different debt entities, creditors, credit bureaus, things of that nature. But stuff was straight up not getting delivered that I had certified receipts for. This was like continuous. Like I couldn't get nothing out. So when we started the process with Karen, I was trying to balance, okay, there was a little bit of a freak out going on. I'm like, okay, how are we gonna do this? We gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? And this went on for months. I notified Mr. Kojo about this. I notified Mr. Arkan about this, and there's several other jurors that knew about this, and several of them, actually, offered their help, which I did take. But even with that, this was a massive overload of clients that I was getting at this time as well. That I was getting for these processes that I thought was clear. I'm sending out the contracts, the agreements, agreeing to it, and all of my mail isn't getting sent out. Stuff is getting kicked back. It was crazy. That was a crazy few months for me. Put that on the record. And also, I think I emailed you that as well, Chief Ali. I let you know kind of there was a crazy scenario going on with that. around that time, and that's around the time of Karen. So I did not make an excuse, but because I have a receipts on it, that's nothing to verify. But that was what was going on, juror stuff, jurors world stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that. So I'm like I said before, I'm totally fine getting our money back. That's not a problem at all. Well, if you can't handle class, why is he taking? I was gonna go continue, but I'll stop to answer what Karen just messaged in there. The reason in that particular part, the clients that I had already took on, I wasn't aware that stuff wasn't not going to get mailed in. I took on clients, and then I was having mailing issues. So then around the time that you had came about, you wanted more of a specific process. Bankruptcy is a little bit different than what you do with audits or certain procedures with the credit bureaus in particular. So with that, you didn't mail anything to me. Okay, having a conversation. So you didn't mail anything. No. So the mailing would not go to you. It would go to the people that we're dealing with for the business bankruptcy or for the bankruptcy. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna dial back something too, because granted, I'm gonna deal with Karen real quick, but I want to deal with Archon for a quick second, because I see without saying anything, you can see his facial expressions, and I don't want it to get confused that I don't want it to sway anything in regards to how he's looking and just kind of because he's done this stuff before. And I'm not trying to like pick on him, but here the fact is, this is part of the reason that, he's looking.
Let's not make it about Archon.
Right. I'm concentrating and focusing on what you say.
Brother, look, like what you're doing now, I had other nationals come to me and say, yo, do you see the way Archon was looking when he was speaking? That's disrespectful. You're doing the exact same thing now. The issue here is that, in my opinion, you shouldn't even be here. Because that's
your opinion. So what I'll do to accommodate the nationals that you mentioned, I'll put my profile screen up for the continuation of this proceeding. So I'm removing all excuses. You're not going to use me as a scapegoat.
No, I don't need you as a scapegoat. While at the same time, you being here now, is all I'm saying. Because you're one of the people that I contracted with that you then stole from. But we'll deal with you at a later point.
You got 20 minutes left. You're 20 minutes in, you got 10 minutes left. So
that's cool. So I'm in extension because Karen is asking me questions. I was going to the next person. Karen is asking me questions. She wants clarification on. She's not saying it, but she's messaging. I don't know if she's messaging me directly or she's messaging everybody. But what she's stating is, if he can't handle clients, then why is he taking payment for green services? And then she said, another message, you didn't mail anything to me. So, again, we're not mailing stuff to you initially with the process. We're collecting information and data, but the mailing and things like that will be going to the bankruptcy court. To answer that, why am I taking on clients? I'm taking on clients because, one, I wasn't sure, like the clients I was taking on were taken before the mailing situation got to the point where it was, because it was a gradual situation. It wasn't all of a sudden, I'm not getting stuff mailed out. It was, okay, some stuff's getting mailed out, some stuff's getting kicked back, vice versa, what happened. I request more time for answering the question, because it keeps popping up on my screen. Not that much time. I'm pretty much done. When Karen, when you came aboard, that was around the time that I was trying to put out fires of the people that weren't getting done. So, I can't remember if I said, we dealt with you before or after, but that was probably the scenario. So that's there. So to answer your question, here we go with that. Also in the regards of Love Sheet, why offer another jurist to do it? Because you said you had already had another jurist to do it. You said you had already had a jurist to do it before. I said I was in the protocol to do it. If there was something that I did not know, I am willing to, and this wasn't a flame to Love Sheet either. I said, if there's something that I did not know, let's make it public. So that way anybody can correct. That way we don't have to keep going back and forth, because she kept asking me. She kept asking, why don't you do it? Why don't you want to do it? It almost felt like a trap. Like, I just told you what's good. Go to if you say you already have a jurist do this for you, go to the other jurist. if you're insistent on me doing it, how about I just ask online without stating any names? Should we do this process, jurist? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how humble you can get at that point for a jurist in my capacity to be that open for critique and correction on a public forum like that. That's not in my stance. It's not a firing up. That's being humble. That's what I meant. We can just ask them. I don't gotta use your name. I said that in the text message. It'll be my name. Simply ask them a question. Is this process blah blah blah? Because I did reach out to my team. My team had told me I don't do that. I wasn't trained on how to do that. That's not what I do. So at my point, I was like, okay, well, until I hear something from headquarters, or I see something that I missed in my jurist manual, let's figure it out. Let's go on the government page, put it up public, let it be known. It's not that complicated. I'm not trying to, I have too much to do than to go back and forth on a subject that shouldn't even be that deep. So why I say have enough to just do it? That's fine. Have enough to just do it. I don't got time for it, honestly. And if to go back and forth, I mean. Yeah. So that is it. Like that is my answers to what was being stated there. So if we need to go through it again, I'm down for it. Or like kind of quickly synopsis, brief it, but that's the scenario. So yeah, I don't know. This time I was supposed to go through the stuff, the details of breaches codes and things of that nature, or because I know
minutes addressing the IVs. Sister Rushdie.
I'm more than 5 because this is all like we're dealing with like 1, 2, 3, 4 different itemized things there, and some of the stuff is there. So
I do another 10 minutes since we gave Ali another 5.
Well, I can suggest this. We want to detail and break and continue this on another date so everybody can get to what they need to do. I'm cool with that. We can hold pause on this, or we can go through it now. Just not because it's more time, but
no sir. I protest. I'm giving my protest to that.
You don't have a right to that.
I'm presenting it to the Jewish Society. I'm not talking to you.
You don't even have the right to do it to the Jewish Society, sir.
We didn't gave
All right. So yeah,
and then you're gonna give him additional 10 minutes to respond. He took that time to present his rebuttal to each 3 plaintiffs and their grievances. We all have the affidavits. He has the affidavits. I have the affidavits. We have the prosecuting documents. All the documents are available. We're not going to let this drag. And it's been requested several times by Minister Cujo to speed this along. This is supposed to be a speedy, effective, simple court proceeding.
So here's the thing.
Hold on. Let me interrupt. Hold on, real quick. Hold on.
You stole from me. You stole from my law firm. We had mediation on it.
Right.
Bro, like, yo, you.
Right. Hold on a second. Let's give Ali a chance to speak. He raised his hand. So.
All right. So 2 things. After Ken has an extra period or whatever, I propose we have the ability to post questions to each other. Questions meaning I get to question Ken. Ken gets to question each one of the plaintiffs, and that should be like our closing period because what else do we have to say? And then the questions, they will be directed towards the indictment, the actual points about things that were brought up. We both get to do that, and then we're good. So I think he should have time to complete whatever he's going to complete. Extra time, we got extra time. Let him complete that, and we go into that part. And then the Jewish Society can make their determinations on whether they feel we need another hearing or however we're going to proceed. We're willing to submit to whatever y'all offer after we, go to that question.
Is the defendant, are you prepared to ask questions?
Oh, me?
Yeah, are you prepared?
Information came like last night, but I think I have a gauge of I can run it.
I'm saying if you want to request that we do it, maybe tomorrow in a separate hearing, you can, and we can see what the rest of the Drill Society says, but we don't want to be unfair with.
Right.
You know.
Right. Let me ask Chief Exec, what do you prefer? What do you prefer to, in regards of like items that we have to do, things that need to be done, or even on your end, and like what do you feel would be best in this case?
Well, you did just get this, so I think what Rashad is proposing is for you to think about. I can't advise you legally, but I can advise that I can ask some very simple questions about the indictment and I personally will be done. But if you need additional time and we got to come back again, I'll make myself available. Hopefully everyone can make themselves available. And, we can even schedule that to make sure it's comfortable. So we can do it. As far as my prosecution, once I ask them my questions, I will close and I will be done.
Okay, copy that. Hypothetically, if we were to do another date, how soon could we get that? Another day schedule?
That's up to the judge. I'm going to make myself available. I don't care if I'm in a car. I don't care. I'll pull over to the side of the road because that's what we do. So that's up to the society. I don't have nothing to do with that. But I will be able, personally, to ask my questions today and close.
Okay. Cool. So if go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I'm available. Well, I don't know if the rest of the Drill Society is available this evening, later this evening. If you want it to be that soon, or if not, tomorrow sometime.
I'm cool with tomorrow same time. If that works for everyone else.
I'm available.
Okay. Sure. So yeah, I'm down tomorrow same time. Let's rock it out. But Chief Exec, if you wanna pose those questions, so I kind of have them on.
So what I'm gonna do is I will prefer to defer to tomorrow, so it's all together.
Okay.
All the questions. What I will do is I'm taking the plea deal off the table completely. We're just gonna go with whatever the Drill Society decides after they hear the evidence. And for all the plaintiffs, y'all, I'll talk to y'all and correspond with y'all so we can get ready for tomorrow, go through our questions, get everything answered, and then, let them decide what they're going to decide.
Okay. Also, on the plea deal, I just want to make a statement really briefly. It mentioned on there, there's a problem with the deal. Okay, it said refund, I don't know if it was a request.
It's off the table, though. We have to talk about it.
I'm just saying?
The plea deal is off the table, so you don't need to address it.
Okay, well, when it said off the table, I needed to be clarity in regards of the offer being denied or anything like that. Or I don't know if that's what you meant, like, or it was a decision. Yeah, clarify.
Yeah, he's asking the question. I'm trying to understand what he's asking.
Yeah, so, when you say off the table, do you mean off the table in the regards of that's your decision, it doesn't seem like it's even needed, or is it mainly because on the other end of it, because of my particular points that blow the plea deal out the way and take that off the table because I want to go the route that I'm going in regards to the defense, or which one? I want to make myself clear.
The plea deal is an offer. It's an offer and an opportunity to arbitrate, to look at the evidence, whatever. We've been looking at the evidence, and so I have to talk to my plaintiffs about the questions or whatever. But as we're proceeding, I don't think that the plea deal has a place anymore for how we're proceeding. I don't think it has a place.
Copy that. Okay. Excellent. Awesome. Yeah, so after that, I'm good. We can do the same time tomorrow, or, if that works.
And is the plea deal something that could be accepted today? Or are you saying that if we are going to proceed for the next hearing, no, that's just off the table?
Well, yeah, for the next hearing, we're going through questions and answers further on everything we already talked about. So all I would be doing, like if I did it today, I would be closing my arguments, right? And closing my arguments to allow for him to close his arguments. But this is going to go on longer because we have to deal with more detail in rebuttals. Because if he raises the point that he thinks is legitimate, like he just did on several things, I took notes on everything he said. I have already right here 16 questions to ask him. So it's based, and my 16 questions are based on the fact that as a prosecutor who's listening to witnesses and humbly, in the most unbiased way, I love this brother. This is my brother. But I can't let that defer me away from what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what's on the record. Because I'm learning things too, fast. You know, I'm putting together prosecutions fast too. But what I'm looking at, most of it, not all of it. Like, say for instance, the thing that he said about the account. I just looked at. I don't keep this money in my business account. This is a trust account. I don't see that date with a transaction yet. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying I don't see it. So, okay, that's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, that's an iffy thing. But not registering nationals, saying she didn't ask for the money back and she did, but you don't see it because you didn't check your email. So many things are so plain that the way that he's responding is showing that he doesn't want to come to an arbitration. He wants to defend himself on all of these points because he thinks these women have brought something that he is not guilty of. And in my estimation, he's guilty of most of it. And so there's no, we can't come to logical or reasonable processes where those angles are coming like that. Like, his position is his position, and he has a right to it because, he's going to keep presenting evidence, and it might be something that I don't know. But all I'm saying is the angle that I see now, I don't even see how we could come to a plea agreement. It's like the information is not, the communication information is not coming to be like, oh yeah, that's the case. So I would like to proceed, like you said, tomorrow, and after I get to talk to the plaintiffs, I can I can get these questions organized so I don't also delay y'all because I know, everybody got stuff to do. I want to be efficient. And then let y'all make y'all determination based on everything that y'all heard,
Right. And for the record, I do want to state that on regardless of Karen's behalf, fallacies were made on my end. So yeah, I'm down to rectify that how we need to do that. So we can do that. But we'll move on to that for sure.
I would like to ask the plaintiff a question. Are you refusing the plea deal that's offered from the prosecutor?
What was that question?
You mean the defendant?
This is Archon Shabazz, a jurist on the panel. I'm asking the plaintiff, are you refusing or for the record, the plea deal that's been taken off the table?
Yeah, you said plaintiff though. You mean defendant?
Defendant, I'm sorry. Defendant.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, what was the question? Because I thought you were talking to the plaintiff. Say it again.
To the defendant, I stand corrected by the prosecuting executive. Are you refusing the plea deal that was offered?
Well, we're taking off the table, technically. So, it's off the table.
I think this is a serious matter. I don't think this is the time to be sarcastic or make fun of. So if it was on the table, would you place the plea deal before it was taken off the table?
I don't want to do hypotheticals. The point is, it was taken off the table. If there's a new plea deal that's offered, I'm down to deal with that, with the updated information. But
so you accept the plea deal that's taken off the table?
Yes, I do accept the plea deals.
They're off the table?
Sure.
Okay, for the record. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll adjourn this meeting, this hearing, and we'll come back. Does the Jury Society agree for tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. or on a later time?
Yeah, I like a little later time.
Yeah, I'm thinking that on account of the fact that people are working and everything, when you take into account their family matters or whatever, and maybe push it back later to the evening if that doesn't create an interest.
Okay. Right. Can everybody do 6 p.m.?
Okay. Can we look at schedules can we I don't know if there's a form that we can all after this kind of put together what dates and kind of formulate a better date for everyone that works here, but or we can just ask here. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd rather ask here because it's straightforward and we get it.
I'm cool with tomorrow, and I think tomorrow Anytime after work hours and travel hours, because people are traveling with their babies and going home and doing those things, I think when people are actually home and settled, because everybody's not like some of us who are entrepreneurs, they can't just be on. I think tomorrow night would be a good time. Mine would be very efficient. Like I'm saying, I'm going to get to these questions. I'll even shorten it down because it's about 10 questions, and that response probably will be less than a half hour. And then whatever else that Kim wants to ask will be added time.
Relates to Sister Love, you want to?
Yes, generally my schedule is very open because I'm a full-time entrepreneur. However, I made a commitment for tomorrow night, and I keep them respectfully. I'd like to keep this one as well. So tomorrow night is not a good time for me.
Okay.
Tomorrow,
like late afternoon, or it's no time at?
Afternoon would work, but evening is not good.
Okay. I don't know if everybody's available around 4:30 p.m.
Available whenever.
I'm available.
Okay.
Can you make a suggestion time, Sister Love?
5 is good.
Was 11:30 bad for everybody? Let's go back. Was 11:30 or morning bad for everybody tomorrow?
No, it's perfect.
I mean, I kind of like that we change it because I got to be at the farm tomorrow, but I mean, it's up to y'all. Whatever y'all want to do. If y'all want to do 11:30, I can just reschedule that for a later time, or we can do 5. If everyone can agree to 5 p.m.
You have me for 11:30. Anybody else for 11:30?
Yasmine and Karen, can they do 11:30 considering the fact that they work?
11:30 is 7:30 a.m. here. But yeah, I'll make it work.
And so,
Did she go out?
so what would 5 p.m. do here?
Yasmine, you there?
Yeah, 5 would be better, but 11:30 is okay as well.
Okay, so we got 5 and 11:30. Karen, can you do 5?
5. I'm still gonna be at work, so yeah, 3. That's 3 here. Yeah, that's fine. Either way.
Okay, Love, you can do 5 too?
Yes.
Okay.
just to be clear, it should be the time zone. It's like whatever is agreed to on Google Calendar, it'll be the right time on there, correct? Like, because I know we're on different time zones.
Yeah, that's Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
So y'all 4 p.m. and where y'all at?
4 p.m. Okay, copy that. Absolutely.
Okay, so Your Society agreed tomorrow, 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, we'll be ready. And if I have one more question. No, I didn't. I'm clear. Yeah, I'm clear. Just the time. I just want to make sure the time and everybody's gonna be present. That's the main thing, because that works.
Okay. Yeah.
I appreciate it, everyone.
Yeah, we have the plaintiff and the defendants in agreement, so there's a name.
Okay.
All right, so.
And for y'all, I'll be corresponding probably through text. If y'all need to call me plaintiffs or whatever, I'm gonna be running around, but I can take calls and text because I just got a few questions for y'all who will be ready tomorrow. So between now and that time, whatever, I'm gonna cater to y'all communication wise. But y'all gonna receive some text from me about an hour.
Okay, so we'll adjourn this hearing until tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Absolutely.